Yeah, not good. Not good. We're going for emergency live stream right here. We're doing an emergency live stream for about an hour or two. We're going through an emergency live stream right now. That's not ideal. This is absolutely not ideal. We are emergency live streaming right now. We are in an emergency live stream. I have a feeling that I think I have a feeling the Indiana Fever quit on her rather than it being the opposite way around. I have a feeling that it was the opposite way around. NBA channel coming. NBA channel coming starting tomorrow. Well, not starting tomorrow. Starting the first day of preseason. So, Caitlin Clark officially done for the season. Officially done for the season. This is not ideal. This is not ideal at all. This is not something that I think anyone wants to have to deal with. This is not something from the position of the Indiana Fever organization that, like, it's not something that we want to see. It's not something that anybody wants to have happen, because Caitlin Clark being out for the season really, really does screw with this entire league. Gino is right. She can't handle the pro league. Yeah, what about her rookie season where she set the all-time rookie points and assist record for a season that's not going to be broken by Gino's player who doesn't actually believe is better than Caitlin Clark. Let's be completely honest. Let's be completely honest. I am genuinely I'm actually shocked that they were trying to work her up. And the fact is that there might not be a 2027 season. I think I'll talk about it a little bit later on this live stream. My assumption is she'll play in Unrivaled. Because she's not going to take a year and 8 months, 20 months off basketball, realistically. I just don't think that's going to happen. However, this is a tough one because we don't know if Caitlin Clark was, like, we don't know if she was, like, ready to come back and they didn't want her. We don't know if they were lying all along. We don't know if it was a case where they thought maybe she could get back and she just couldn't. But that's unlikely given the diagnosis that we were given of the injury, or maybe it was a more serious injury that we weren't told about. And if that's the case, why the fuck were they not tanking? Like, nothing about this makes sense. Nothing about this entire situation makes sense. Nothing about this made sense from second one. Nothing about the way this injury happened made any sense. And I genuinely think, look, I think when it's all said and done, we see Caitlin Clark before next season. I don't know if it'll be in Unrivaled. I don't know if it'll be in Athletes Unlimited. I don't know if, for example, maybe the Maverick Carter League sets up something and they end up overpaying basically all the best players, not an unrivaled, end up getting paid a shitload of money to go play in that league that he's setting up, that is being funded. And if Caitlin Clark's there, you better believe a solid 50% of the unrivaled players will go there. But there's no way that Caitlin Clark does not play basketball. There is no way that she doesn't play basketball. It doesn't have to be unrivaled. It'll be somewhere. But there's no way that she does not play basketball for for essentially 2 years. For essentially 2 years. The tickets have been sold out for months. I don't know if I believe in the conspiracy that they were stalling it. Because am I right in saying tomorrow is their last game? Am I right in saying that? And tomorrow was the last game of the season? The last home game of the season? But like, we're now looking at a situation where we are going into the playoffs with Odyssey Sims and Shea Petty. So they have 2 more home games. Okay. We're going into the playoffs with Odyssey Sims and Shea Petty as our point guards. I honestly don't, I think we beat the Sky, but I think that might be it for the season. I think that might be it for the season. And Caitlin being injured, is not good for the CBA. It's not good for players' leverage. The players have lost every bit of leverage. The players have lost every single bit of leverage that they had. Because Caitlin can get it. There is no longer the Caitlin Clark is in this league guarantee. There's no absolutely, there's no longer the Caitlin is in this league guarantee. Because with her now being out for almost an entire season, yes, the fan base is up, but that's due to an expansion team, and that's due to an expansion team, realistically, a combination of everything. San Francisco being one of what was going to be the top place for women's sports. The Golden State Valkyries having a huge fan base, mostly of people that have been priced out of going to Warriors games since they moved from the Oracle to wherever they're playing now. It is genuinely if Caitlin is not 1 million, if this turns out to be a thing for Caitlin's career, the WNBA goes back to where it was pre-Caitlin. It does. Because if you take out Fever fans going to games, and Caitlin is such an anomaly that fans go to watch her play. Fans go to watch her sit on the bench. Fans literally go to watch Caitlin Clark sit on the bench. So I think that these players would be extremely dumb if they think that there's no way. There's no way. If they'd be incredibly dumb, they'd be incredibly naive if they think there's no way that Caitlin Clark, if they think that they can use Caitlin Clark as a bargaining chip. They can't use Caitlin Clark as a bargaining chip anymore. They just can't. They can't. They've lost the leverage of using current numbers because those numbers are only there because of Caitlin Clark. And anyone who's smart knows that the only reason the numbers are the way they are is because of Caitlin Clark. So yeah, it's not good. It's not good for anybody. It's not good for the Fever. We can just pencil the Fever as a loss. It doesn't matter who they're playing in the playoffs. We can just pencil the Fever for a sweep in the first round of the playoffs. And that's if they get there. I hope they don't. Problem is, Sparks play a Dream tomorrow. And if the Fever win one game, they're going to be in the playoffs. So the Sparks play the Dream. They play the Mercury. And they play the... Who do they play? The last game of the season doesn't really matter. They'll beat whoever they play in the last game of the year. But, so the Sparks need to win 2. Sparks need to win 2, we need to go on 3. If nothing else, the hope should be the Indiana Fever lose their next 2 games. Because we're not going to win anything in the playoffs. We're not going to beat any of these teams in the playoffs. I don't care for the 7th seed. I don't care for the 8th seed. We're not winning a game. Like, when any of these teams actually lock in against us, it's a 20-point loss. Like, if the Fever stay within single digits of a single playoff game, it's been a success. It's absolutely been a success. So this is just a bad situation all around. And at least the lying's stopping. At least the lying is over, I guess. At least the lying is over. There's no more trying to pretend that that Caitlin Clark could come back at any given time. That's done. We're not going to see any more talk of Caitlin Clark coming back. We're not going to talk of any more practice. We're not going to hear any more talk of that, because at the end of the day, the Indiana Fever are in a bit of a bad have done a really bad job of this. They've done a really, really bad job of talking about this. They've done a really bad job of hiding these injuries. Like, even the Chloe Bibby thing for me was so much worse, because the Chloe Bibby one, clearly it was a setback. Clearly it was a huge setback. And like, all the Indiana Fever had to do. All the Indiana Fever had to do. Like, all they had to do was say with Chloe Bibby that she was making progress, but due to the travel, there has been a setback and her knee's been swelling up. So we need to see how she gets on over the next few days before letting her back out on the court. That's all they had to do. And not, there's no setback and 4 days later she's done for the season. Like, it's at the stage now where we don't need to hear any more lies. We don't need to hear any more lies. We don't need to hear the organization trying to stall on this. We don't need to. Eventually, I don't know when it'll be, but eventually someone will be playing the actual story. Someone just said the CC effect's been fading all year and attendance and views are rising. You do realize that the only reason attendance and views are rising is one. The reason views are rising is because the Indiana Fever have more games on national TV and there are more games on like big national TV stations. That's the biggest reason why views are rising. And two, the reason why attendance is up is because there's an extra team. There's an extra team in the Valks that sell out every home game. They don't sell out away games. And in the Fever, what the Fever do really well is a lot of teams move. A lot of teams move games for the Fever. A lot of teams move games because the Fever are coming to town to bigger arenas, or if you're the Minnesota Lynx, opening the upper of the arena. So yes, they're prepared for that this year. Last year, they weren't prepared for that. This year, they were prepared for that. So if you add in all those games that are moved, let's just say it's 7 games, all of these arenas more than doubled their attendance from their normal arena to the new arena, or quadrupled in the Atlanta Dreams case. So you can add 15 games to the schedule from just away games being moved from the Indiana Fever. So yes, the CC effect is absolutely not dying, because more people show up to see Caitlin Clark sit on the end of the bench than show up to watch other teams play basketball. And that's scary. Not except for the Valkyries and the Liberty. Let's not pretend that the Valkyries and the Liberty don't have real fans. They do. The Atlanta Dream don't have real fans. The Dallas Wings don't have real fans. Paige Bueckers doesn't have real fans. The Sky, in fairness, the Sky have some fans. The problem is that the specific Angel Reese fans don't go to games. Like, the Chicago Sky fans at games are Sky fans. The Angel Reese fans don't go to games. The Aces have fans, but not that many fans in Vegas, if you get me. Like, most of the Aces fans are AJ Wilson fans, South Carolina. But at least now we know what is happening. we know what's happening. We know that, you know, Caitlyn's not going to come back. And it's going to be a really interesting one to see. It's going to be a really interesting one to see what's going on with what's going to happen viewership-wise. I still think the WNBA is in a better spot this year than it was in last year. I still don't know if the if it ends up being the like top tier or like it breaks records on last year. I think it's going to be is the most view. They're going to just put this whole thing being like and compare all the viewership numbers to 2023, like what they're doing. And a lot of people are saying a lot of tickets purchased before Caitlin Clark went out on Fever games, people just showed up to them anyway. And I think if it wasn't for Caitlin Clark, people wouldn't have showed up. But I still think that Caitlin is still is still by a mile the biggest draw in this league, even when she's not playing. But yeah, it's a really it's an interesting situation all around. And I think it's not that the Caitlin Clark hype has gone down, but I think the optimism around Caitlin Clark has turned into complete pessimism. I think there is a level of pessimism, and I think that level of pessimism has not been caused by Caitlin's injury. I think the level of pessimism has been caused by the way the Indiana Fever have communicated this injury. Like, I think this is genuinely one of those things. If Caitlin was done for the year, we would be a lot more optimistic about coming in next year, Caitlin getting back, seeing what Caitlin's going to do. But there's now a thing of pessimism because not only that, there is now a resentment, rightfully so, a resentment from fans towards the franchise. Without Kate, I understand Caitlin Clark is the best orchestrator of the super high octane offense, but everyone said you need to find another point guard to run an offense like that, and the Fever haven't. The Fever have actually found the worst possible point guards in Sydney Colson. Odyssey Sims can't play like that. Even Ari McDonald runs fast, but she doesn't play necessarily fast. And Ari McDonald, they accidentally got her. The Fever did a horrible job of putting a team together that could be fun to watch when Caitlin Clark's out. They did a horrible job of it. But, yeah, I think the level of pessimism is not there due to the injury. A lot of people kind of knew it was going to happen. But I think there's a level of pessimism there because through this injury, there is now a resentment from fans towards the franchise. Through this injury, we're now seeing the phenomenon in the media of next up mentality. And thank you for the $2, Matt. We're now seeing some of the stuff in the media trying to diminish Caitlin Clark because of this injury play season. We're seeing all this stuff, and there is a level of pessimism towards the entire situation that wouldn't have been there had she just been ruled out for the season 2 months ago at All-Star break. And we don't know if Caitlin Clark's complicit in the lies or not. She could well be, she might not be. We absolutely have no idea. But at the end of the day, it's just a weird situation. So, yeah, I am going to end stream right there. We've just been on for a quick one. Right there. We're going to end the stream right now. And yeah, I'm going to end the stream right there, get a couple of videos up, and I will see you guys. Tomorrow night for a stream for the Chicago Sky with no Caitlin or injuries. Bit of a shit one. We got to watch the Wings game. Nope, I'm going to sleep. I'll see you guys.